over 2 goals at half-time, so don't be surprised if they break their duck today.
We'll go through some team news as we get going here. First bounce, and we are underway, round 5 in the Smithies VFL. And already a chance here for Cowan into the VFL lineup today. He'll go wide with his kick, and that's okay for Binns. So 15 AFL-listed Blues out here today against only 7 AFL-listed Geelong players. We know the AFL matchup is coming up, and a couple of holdovers from the selected lineup stand. So Lewis Young is a late scratching today. He was named for this game. He's being held over for the AFL. And 2 for Geelong. George Stevens and Mitch Duncan were named for this game, but they're not out here today. As the Blues do go inside 50, it'll be punched through by Caperon.
I was thinking of maybe selecting Geelong, but I have looked at Carlton's team on paper, and now with those 2 exclusions of George Stevens and Mitch Duncan, I am going to tip the Blues today.
Our first look at Keaton Matafai-Forbes for the Cats, and it's a long kick toward the outer side and doubling back. It's a nice mark that's been taken by Ethan Phillips. We know he's good at that. And the Blues have had the possession battle early here in their favour. Nelson will go short. This is Ben Camporelli. Here to get his look at the top level. Ben, we know Lucas has made his debut inside 50. We go, and Geelong are going to rebound back out. Some early touches for Matafai-Forbes, and he'll go long down the line.
For those of you who haven't seen Keaton Matafai-Forbes play, he has a prodigious left foot. Think of Ari Schoenmaker, who plays for St Kilda. He can kick it 60 metres without trying. Can Keaton Matafai-Forbes?
This is Kruger, who is prodigious in the air. Played the state game a couple of weeks ago. He's averaging 8 marks in the Smithies VFL. Is Kruger, but that kick is no good. It's going to be picked off by Vickery. So some of the VFL-listed Blues having an early impact on this game as Vickery will take it inside 50, and the mark will eventually be paid to Hudson O'Keefe.
Probably just needed to back a little harder to Charlie McCartan on that occasion. I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. He's a mature age player from Lorne, and we know of his 2 brothers who have played league football, Tom and Patrick.
Third VFL game of the season, has 1 goal to his name, and he didn't like it off the boot. Knew straight away that was not going through for 6.
Well, I think that's what Hudson O'Keefe needs to do. He just needs to have another string to his bow if he's going to put his name up for senior selection.
So here's Jake Kolajasny. He was named in the VFL side last week to take on Box Hill, but was a late out, coming back from the groin injury. And a lot of Cats fans will be happy to see Kolajasny out there for his first appearance in the hoops this year. Ball goes out of play. Another one that's making his Geelong debut today, Xavier Ivcevic, is into the lineup as well for his first game out of Bell Park.
You just wonder what you'll do, what Geelong will do with those players in Kolajasny and Ivcevic. Will they manage their minutes, or will they give them full game time? Both are defenders, so potentially they might play a little bit more than half a game.
Carlton ball here. Cowan one way to the other, getting that handball out. There's a couple of options in board here. One of them's Ramshaw. Heath Ramshaw averaging 21 touches a game in the VFL so far. His kick will go wide for Vickery, and he'll chip into the pocket. Binns gets into the spot. Maybe a slightly better kick on offer here from the one that we saw Hudson O'Keefe miss moments ago. No Will Hayes for Carlton. He has had a really good start to the season, but he is not in today.
Why would that be?
Doherty is. He was late in for Sam Doherty last week in the North Melbourne game, so perhaps that might be why. But he did play some really good footy.
37 touches, I think, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
Jackson Binns, the kicking for Carlton has not been great so far. It's going to be killed off by Polkinghorn.
I'm going to keep an eye on Jackson Binns today. I've looked at his numbers, and they're well down from his debut season, but I just wonder if his role is a little bit different, or if he has been asked to play a different way.
If it was actually Kolajasny that forced that rush behind there for the Cats. Outer side ball here. Carlton has been good going high toward the wing. Pike was at the front of the pack. No mark taken. That's not going to come out.
I may have said that Xavier Ivicic was starting back. It looks like he's actually forward now and might have the job on keeping an eye on Sam Doherty.
Herbert did well to extract it. And running into trouble, Murray had to move it on by hand. We go inside 50 for the Cats for the first time today, cutting across in front of the pack there. Boyd getting a fist on it. It's going to rush all the way through for Geelong's first score of the day.
Keep an eye on these kick-ins from Jordan Boyd. Last week he set up 2 or 3 scoring opportunities just from his ability to hit targets from kick-outs.
Jordan Boyd, 36 AFL games on his resume, and this man's got a lot more than that. Sam Doherty will go with the short ball for Bince. It's been busy early, Jackson Bince. Good accumulator at this level as we go high to the hot spot here, and Carlton with some work to do. The ball was punched down. O'Farrell will eventually run onto it and quickly saw something he liked down the line. It was Nelson. The kick goes in back toward the wing now. We've got a foot race for it. Herbert needing to dish off the handball and did so. That kick won't go anywhere. Reclaimed by Ben Camporelli, and the Blues are out. It's Hogg, whose dad tore this joint up a few times for the Blues back in the 90s. Just on the outskirts of 50 right now. Does spill out late. Camporelli going again. That tackle was close to potentially being a push in the back, but a ball up. I think it was the skipper Capper on there with the tackle for the Cats.
Yeah, looking up, coming inside 50 there. It was 2-on-4 Geelong's way, so they had to try and use hands to get through that. Did Carlton? Didn't work.
Herbert's handball missing the target there. Wilson reclaimed for Carlton. Binns gets another touch. Disposal number 4 for Jackson Binns, and straight away to lead on offer, but O'Keefe dropped it. Then he got tackled and did not dispose of it. Good tackling pressure there from Brock Williamson, who is on debut for the Cats today from the VFL list. And they are relying heavily on that VFL list right now, the Cats. Ball going towards half forward, then sent inside 50. A little kick by Murray. Polkinghorn, good sidestep. Can he get rid of the ball though? He was tackled by O'Farrell, and that forced the ball to go wide.
Both sides getting numbers back in defence. On that occasion, Geelong had Jay Polkinghorn on his own with 4 Carlton defenders. He was nearly able to execute and put the first goal on the board for the Cats there.
It's Nathan Kruger putting his hand up to contest the ruck against Mark Pitnet here. They do collide before the ball arrives. It's an outside of the boot ball. Polkinghorn struggling to control it. Blues are desperate here, but it's just going to be taken here by Patrick Kelly. They tried to dump out, no power on the kick. So Patrick Kelly can line up here. Not noted for his goal kicking. He's played all 4 games for the Cats so far this year.
It's a young man from Nullawil. Do you know where Nullawil is?
Can't say I do then.
Well, it's just near Birchip, and I think it's north of Witchyproof.
First geography lesson of the day. That's what I like about calling with you, Dan Winkle. Always get the good geography for where all these players are coming from. Far and wide, the miss there. So a few misses either way here. 5 behinds in this game so far. Do you also know where Jordan Boyd is from?
Footscray VFL? No, I don't.
In the long sleeves today. We've seen Carlton fullbacks in that obviously over the years. Well taken, Pitnet. This is Paul, and look at the space here for Moyer. He could probably go all the way here. Decides to look at the options. He probably should have gone all the way there, Dan. He just poked it into no man's land there. And all over it is Mitch Lloyd. Ball up will be the call in the end. I reckon Moyer could have taken that space and had a crack.
So do I, but I'm looking at Joe Pike here. He's going to have his hands full with Mark Pitnet.
Pitnet grabbing it out of the ruck here. Pike trying to apply some pressure. Kelly missed his shot a little earlier. Ball came loose, and then the quick snap at goal by Nelson. That one will go through. Finally a goal.
Yep, some would say that handball was reckless, Kelly, and in the end Carlton have scored the first goal of the game, and that's the late inclusion in Luke Nelson. He's had significant VFL experience here though for the Blues. So
Nelson, the late in for Lewis Young, was named as an emergency for the AFL game later. So the named emergencies for the AFL that are out here in the VFL today: Lockie Cowan and Sam Doherty for Carlton, and Ted Closey for Geelong. They're the ones that are actually out here today. So held over Mitch Duncan and George Stevens for the Cats, and Lewis Young for Carlton.
I like the fact that Archie Stevens and Heath Ramshaw are starting in the middle for the Blues. VFL listed player. Archie Stevens knows how to find the football. Watched him against North Melbourne last week. He was really impressive, the man from South Warrnambool. Had 26 disposals, but not only that, his defensive efforts were excellent.
Averaging 22 touches and 6 clearances a game in the VFL so far this year. As the ball is forced forward by Hughes here for the Cats. It's a handball here to Wybird into the lineup today, one way to the other. Will send it high into the hot spot, make it someone else's problem. It came off hands, and then the rush kick at goal by Murray's going to miss the lot.
Well, we've had around 7 shots on goal, I think, in this game already, only 11 minutes in, and we've only seen the 1 goal.
Well, that was an 8th that didn't even go through for a score.
Ball zinging from end to end. The surface here, Adam, is exceptional. I had a walk on it before the game. As good as it gets.
Can't fault it. This is obviously the home of the Smithies VFL Grand Final, as Carlton are wanting to rush this one through. The tackle, though, didn't come out. And holding the ball, the Cats will get a goal here. How about the tackling there from Taj Wybird? Into the lineup and onto the goal kicker's sheet goes Taj Wybird.
Well, we saw that was almost identical to what we saw with Mark Blixarves in the AFL game on Monday. He was able to get the ball over the line there, but unfortunately, I'm not sure who the Carlton player was you called there, Adam, but regardless, Taj Wybird played in the he played the Peel Thunder Grand Final win last year. Did Taj?
Hudson O'Keefe going into the ruck here for the Blues. Looks like he'll go against Joe Chaplin. Made his debut last week against Box Hill. Played okay. Took 6 marks, 9 disposals. Had a shot on goal, did Joe Chaplin in his first VFL appearance.
So Mark Pitnet coming off the ground. He's not going forward.
Umpires today: Campbell, Hymans, Jonathan Clark, Liam Dye. As we get restarted here. It's trickling along half forward. Hughes has been impactful for the Cats. Got ripped off at that time, as did Lloyd. Still a chance for Geelong. Herbert one way to the other. Options by hands available to his left, and then it's going to be poked inside 50 but cut off. It's Boyd that has it for Carlton. Boydie they call. The short ball was for Monahan. Quick hands off. Doherty going toward the outer wing. Nice grab. And then the run as well, but under pressure eventually Paul had to get that hairball out. Cats' pressure's been good here so far. Monahan goes in again. Grabbed the ball, then got grabbed, but was able to release it. Hogg going with the switching pass. It's okay. The ball use here okay for the Blues, except for that kick. Couldn't control it, Rantel. Came loose, Camporelli, high contact, free kick Geelong. Jay Rantel back in the number 55. He was wearing 68 last week against Box Hill.
Well, he's had a few numbers, but he's also had a few clubs of late, hasn't he, Jay Rantel?
McCartan here, who's been impressive in the VFL so far, averaging 10 marks a game. Kruger, who, as I said before, is averaging 8. Takes a second one for the day here. Oscar Riccardi. Late inclusion today, Oscar, and 50. Moya getting too close to the action. And Oscar Riccardi will get his chance here on the 45.
It's amazing how many free kicks you still see, whether it's AFL, VFL, or any other level, for those type of infringements, and you just wonder, are the players really clear about the rules, or are they just undisciplined?
This to give Geelong the lead here, Riccardi. He was just fading to the right, so he's missed it. So 2 goals 6 combined here so far. And Boyd continues with the kicking in duties. Took the space to his right, goes short to Doherty. Late whistle there. I thought maybe the distance hadn't been carried there. Monaghan now has it. Out of County Kerry. The Blues want to go with full switch mode. O'Farrell still inside D50. That kick's got a bit too much on it. Just opened the door there for Hughes. Monaghan tried to go for safety. There was a teammate down there. It will be a boundary throw in. Scored it out of play by O'Farrell.
It's normally a low possession player as the Irishman, Monaghan, but he's already had the 3 so far in this game.
Second year, category B rookie. Rinse and repeat here. Bit windy, you can hear in our effects, Mike. It's certainly a dark and gloomy day over Icon Park. Conditions perfect though, as Dan mentioned. There's the ground surface here. Neither ruck getting a hand on it. Rantel didn't get to that ball eventually. Ivicic was the one that did, but the kick smothered. Goes again. Does Ivicic, just has to get that handball out. Wide bird, then further back. Rantel, which way does he go? Eventually onto the right boot, poking it into the pocket. It'll bounce in play. A real flow to this game right now. One goal, 3 apiece. Carlton looking for their first win of the Smithies VFL season. Geelong could go to second. That might require a loss for GWS later on against the Bulldogs as well. Boundary throw in. Busy day to VFL today, Dan. 4 games. They've just kicked off in Wonthaggi as well with Port Melbourne and Box Hill.
Port Melbourne are playing in Wonthaggi, but Collingwood and Essendon played in Port Melbourne. So that's an interesting one, isn't it? But good to see that VFL football being taken to regional areas.
It's a weird and wonderful fixture, the Smithies VFL fixture. Already had games in Beaconsfield as well this year. 2-on-1 here for the Cats. Arriving late, Caperon did well to regain it from ground level, but the kick here has really set the task for Kruger. And out the back, it was easy pickings for Phillips. Now Doherty spotted Paul on the outer side.
Yeah, they need to be really considered with their inside 50s, Geelong, because Ethan Phillips at this level will just pick you off on every occasion.
Darcy Hogg placed it well, back to the man that gave it to him. Paul wants to go quickly onto the left. Moya bounces past him. They get the territory at least.
Should have a look at the uncontested marks so far in this game, particularly for Carlton. They have chipped the ball around.
All live stats available on the Smithies VFL app and afl.com.au as well in the match centre. If you click on VFL, it's all there, provided by Champion Data. Blues potentially just messing around with that ball a bit too much. It came unstuck in the end and they're out here. Ivcevic has had a fair bit already. Ivcevic, I should say. I knew I was going to stuff that name up, Dan. We go inside 50 and that's well clunked. It's very well clunked in the corridor there by Polkinghorne.
He has looked dangerous, Polkinghorne, getting behind his defenders, and they're giving him the space and kicking it over his head. And that was a nice kick on that occasion, able to get behind Jordan Boyd. What he is, Jay Polkinghorne, he's known for his accuracy. So he might not have a heap of opportunities during a game, but when he does, he usually converts.
So we've gone nearly 8 minutes without a goal here. Jay Polkinghorne going at 2 goals a game on average here in the Smithies VFL. That one sails through. So that's a bit better after some average goal kicking, to say the least, so far here today.
And even with some omissions in their side, if you look at their forward line with Polkinghorne and Kruger, Ivicic now spending some time in there as well. Joe Chaplin, young man who originally grew up in Tasmania and has gone via Perth and now St Joseph's in the GFL. He's there as well.
Back in the middle. Bounce to restart play, and Pitnet will take it himself and tumble it inside 50. Oh. That bounce really did favour McMahon. He can have a crack and instantly get the reply. The skipper goes bang. He is going at 4 goals a game on average so far this year.
He is a little bit like Jay Polkinghorne at the other end. He doesn't need too many opportunities to have an impact on a game, Liam McMahon, and it was a little fortuitous for him, the bounce, but on the back of Mark Pitnet winning a ruck clearance against the youngster Joe Pike. So a real challenge for Joe Pike today. Pitnet already having an influence on this contest. And I was going to say, Geelong were a goal up before that, but Carlton had most of the play with the disposal count being 66 to 46. So finally some reward for their effort.
Pike and Pitnet will go again, and that's just happened the exact same way. Pitnet, this time it was more of a drop punt going inside 50, and the Cats were onto it this time. Cutting across the front of the pack was Lloyd. Ivicic here. He's done a couple of nice things here in his first game in the hoops. Cats are using it carefully right now. Rantel got the hurry up eventually. He's gone to the pack there. Pitnet at the front of it. Pike. Look away handball, really effective. And the kick going inside 50. It was a good ball for Ballantyne in for his first game of the season after making 4 appearances for the Cats at VFL level last year.
That was a nice move by the big ruckman there, Joe Pike. And the kick coming in, I think it was from Chaplin you called there, to a 3-on-1, one being the Geelong player in Jamison Ballantyne.
So suddenly we're going goal for goal here at Icon Park after an 8-minute stretch that was really ordinary, if I'm being honest. And now we've just had 3 quick goals. That is a good one for Ballantyne.
Yes, he gets the chocolates on that occasion. Does Ballantyne, young man from Portland. Gee, we've got a huge representation from the Warrnambool/Portland area today. Marcus Herbert, the vice captain, he's a South Warrnambool boy. I know Archie Stevens, number 77 for the Blues, is also from that way. I think we've got a few from Koroit. I think Will White might be from that area as well. Adam, who's now playing in the Carlton senior team. So if you're listening from the Hampton area, hello to you.
Back live here, Ramshaw. Coming through without the footy was Billy Wilson. Umpire had the whistle to his mouth there, and eventually it did go. Free kick Carlton's way, Wilson to take it. Looking in all sorts of directions here. Gets the hurry up call, and there was actually plenty of numbers in space that he could have gone to in the end. Binns was the one that he did go to. Now McMahon. So as I said, Dan, 2 previous appearances here in the VFL this year for the Skippers. Kicked 4 goals in both of those games.
Yes, and what he has, he just looks to me to be a natural forward. I know when he was on Collingwood's list, he played a lot of his football back. But every time I see him, his just ability to time his lead, his forward craft is just excellent.
Fair bit of distance to cover here to bring it back to level. Liam McMahon for his second goal. Getting very close to Kolodjasny on the mark, and I reckon in an attempt to try and get all that distance out of the kick, he mishit it. Ball brought back in play by Keaton Matafai-Forbes. The booming left foot ball. Carried a fair weight. No mark was taken there by Chaplin.
And Matafai Forbes played a lot of his junior football with the Jets as a forward. But I think he's that type of player that you could use out of defence with his kicking abilities.
Product of the local to these areas, Essendon District League, Dan.
Well, I think he started with Hillside as a junior and then went to Keilor under Mick McGuan. I think Mick actively recruited him to Keilor, who are a powerhouse in the EDFL.
Hillside, of course, the original home club of Cam Rayner. And Montana Ham. I think Hillside might be one of the only clubs in Australia to have a number 1 draft pick in both AFL men's and women's there. With Ham and Rayner. Not sure of any other clubs that can claim that. Well, we'll go out of play here. If there's any other clubs? I mean, you're the local league expert. Anyone else that can claim a number 1 pick in men's and women's? Like the Hillside Footy Club can in the EDFL.
Is there someone from Frankston YCW? I know Jeff White was a number 1 drafted.
Smothered ball here. It's a bit chaotic right now inside 50 for the Blues. Another stoppage.
26-minute mark here. You'd think the Cats would probably just want to get to the break with this lead.
That's going to be another stoppage as well by the looks of it.
Every player in Carlton's half of the ground. Lockie Cowan is the closest to Geelong's goal. Oh.
Although Stevens was playing for that free kick perhaps. Holding the ball. Geelong will get the call. Richco tried to run away with it, but it has to come back. And it does come back to Ted Closey. Late inclusion into the AFL lineup last week. Closey cutting across is Boyd. It does stay in play for the Blues. Little kick inboard, Archie Stevens. Same spot from where McMahon missed earlier, and he'll go with the short pass for Evans. Evans doesn't want to take the shot. He instead gives it to Darcy Hogg.
Yeah, playing against his old club is Frankie Evans. Never a high possession player, is he, Frankie Evans? But certainly he has that defensive ability to add to his game that benefits his team.
Bounced around a bit as Evans, but Hogg here lining up. The father-son for the Blues. He kicks the goal. 3-3-21 apiece here as we approach quarter time.
Watched a bit of Darcy Hogg last week as well, and he had the 21 touches. And it's a real benefit when you've got some strong VFL listed players who can come in and play a significant role. Darcy Hogg is one of those. Archie Stevens as well. Actually, they've got a very strong VFL list to the Blues, with Ethan Phillips being on that list and Cooper Vickery. I think Denver Granger Barras also played last week, Adam, and he's not in this side today.
Yep. Power and his staff have tried to bolster this list as much as possible. They have struggled in the VFL, the Blues, in recent times. Cats are finalists last year, of course, as Herbert wins the free kick. Quick handball out. Closey going deep. The Cats want to get the instant reply. We've seen that a few times today where goals have come in chunks. It's a ball up here deep inside 50 for the Cats right now.
Well, that's a win for the Cats because Carlton dominating at those centre clearances.
O'Keefe reaching over the top here. Now Sarcevic, he's being double tackled, triple tackled even. Got pinked, holding the ball. And so Cowan claims the free kick here for Carlton.
Oh.
Wilson under pressure, the kick not going the distance. And then some work to do for Camporelli as well. That was Lucas. Did he get dumped after the kick? Downfield free kick, Carlton, McMahon to take it.
He's had his challenges, Jake Kolajazzi, so far, giving away a free there, and Liam McMahon has had a couple of shots on goal.
Pitnet did well to get rid of McCartan there, then chipped it into the pocket. That's the second time today, I think, where Carlton have just rushed it inside 50 from this side. We saw the Moya one earlier in the game as well. take the territory, maybe have a bit more patience.
I like the fact that Pitnet has been really strong and aggressive in this game and taken his marks. But just on that occasion, I think he should just look for the little give for a midfielder or a half forward who can deliver the ball a little bit better than what he did on that occasion.
Blues looking for a late goal here. Ball was socket along there by Herbert. Now Ramshaw coming in. Dispossessed quickly was Evans. Umpire calling play on initially. 4 games today in the Smithies VFL. It's a busy day. Gold Coast getting a win and a really early start against Sydney at People's First. Here's Moyer. Caught in behind Pitnet. Had to play the role of defender, punching it down, and skittles a couple. Quickly picked up by Ramshaw, going out wide, left foot, but running away from the goal face was pulled. Out of bounds on the full, just enough pressure being applied on pull there by Kelly.
Situation of Kelly Poole there. I think he needed just to, on this ground, it's difficult to kick goals from the pockets. Some grounds you can easily score goals, but not here, so you tend to have to bring the ball back towards the goal face.
It's Tanner Lewis taking the mark there before the siren and not allowed to take his kick.
Well, they were both inaccurate early, and then they both went bang, bang, bang. But Carlton certainly had plenty of the ball. 90 disposals. It's 90 disposals to 62, so plus 28 for the Blues. They won in a lot of other areas as well. Hit-outs 13-5, clearances 12-8. They just couldn't put it on the scoreboard.
A lot of the individual ball getters, which I'm sure you'll touch on in a moment, a lot of them wearing navy blue. I suppose they're both wearing navy blue today, but the ones in the darker jumpers with the monogram, they're the ones that are dominating the stat sheet so far. Rechko barely sighted in the first quarter. Rechko lost his footing. Carlton getting it back here. Benz has had a fair bit of it so far in this game. Disposal number 7 going inside 50. Ball was punched back toward the ground. Benz going in again. Collides quickly with McCarson.
Well, with that disposal, Binns is actually the leading disposal winner on the ground now with 7. Boyd, Ben Cambriali and Darcy Hogg had 6. Monahan 6 as well, the Irishman. Well, that's probably his game average already in the first quarter.
Benz is up to 8, and that could well be a goal assist because Pitnet was unmarked. And has a relatively easy shot at goal here, Mark Pitnet.
And what I will say about Jackson Binns is even though we know he has been a high disposal winner, so far today he's been really efficient. I think that's probably his second, maybe his third inside 50 hit up.
That's as perfect as you can get. We had a great look at it. When you hit him off the middle of the club face, Dan, it's a pretty good feeling. And that one did not deviate at all.
I think Mark Pitnet is running back to the middle of the ground, saying to himself, I've got this young guy covered so far. Can I keep it up? Joe Pike is thinking, gee whiz, I'm up against a big fella here today who's in his 10th year in the AFL system. He's played 73 games, and here I am starting my journey. Maybe he'll just want to try and make this a 50-50 contest. Joe Pike.
Hitting that second game here in the VFL this year. That bounce should be recalled, it is. So the Blues now with their second lead of the day. Did get the first goal of the game through Nelson. Back live. Closey shrugging off some tacklers. The kick not really penetrating. It's going to stay in the square. Coming very late, Chaplin clunked it. Out of nowhere, quick hands off. Closey, the one that kicked it. The wide kick into the pocket's effective for Rechko. Made it look easy to Cats. It's happening again, Dan, when Carlton gets a goal. Geelong not taking long to get their look at a quick reply.
Well, I was just thinking about Ted Closey, who started that stoppage on ball with Ashton Moyer next to him. Now, Moyer, we'll just see what happens here with Pat Rechko.
Didn't seem to hit it too well there. It's going to go across the face.
I just think Ashton Moyer, he probably doesn't spend a heap of time in the middle. He'll need to really make sure his opponent doesn't have an impact when he's in there.
Sam Doherty, 6 touches for him now. Good kick for Monaghan, who's showing a bit today. Disposal number 7 coming up for the Irishman. Quick hands off. Doherty gets it once more. Little kick toward the wing. Comes off hands. Binns has the space. 9th disposal for him. Decides to chip it. And again, it's gone inside 50 off the boot of Binns. Hits up McMahon, who had this exact shot in the first quarter, Dan, and had trouble covering the distance. It was basically this exact shot at the other end.
And I think this is a tough shot too. We saw a little bit of breeze left to right, so I wonder if he'll just pull his kick a little bit.
Did pick up the grass and take a look at what it was doing. Going for his 2nd goal today. He's averaging a goal a quarter this year, basically, in the Smithies VFL. And he hit that one a lot better, Dan, but not straight.
Well, there's another one that's missed to the right there at that end. But Carlton are really dangerous from kick-outs, or is it kick-ins? I'm not sure what you'd call it, but either way, their ability to transfer the play from one end to the other really quickly is really evident.
For the record, I think either works. Pike had to ride the tackle there. Harry O'Farrell making sure the big fella Pike was going nowhere. Pike winning it down. Rechko had to pick it up again. Hughes has 2 Blues wrapping him up. Monaghan, one of them. Pitnet will get the front position against Pike. Tap it down. Ramshaw worked his way through nicely. Binns has it on a string today. Doherty. Now Hogg. The handball. Ramshaw under a bit of pressure. Just out of reach of Monaghan. Ball nearly stopping dead. Is there a Blue down in the foreground there, Dan? Is it Ramshaw that's slow to get up right now? Ball is in the circles here. Holding the ball, free kick. Umpires have been hot on that today so far. A lot of holding the ball, free kicks. Monaghan will claim it. Disposal number 8 for him. He's already gone above his seasonal average for disposals so far here today. Ramshaw is coming off for the Blues with the trainer next to him.
He does look a little bit groggy.
Yeah, he'll go into the protocol. Blues just messing about a bit right now.
Oof.
Ben Camporelli, his kick a grubber. Was reclaimed across half back. Kelly's kick dumping back out. Kruger jumping for it. Now has to follow up with the roving effort, but Binns was there first. Just getting disposals for fun right now is Binns, and he has actually come off for a rest after that one. Pull, handball out. Hogg has been good for Carlton. Dribbling one inside 50. O'Keefe, that came to Moyer. There was a hole. Moyer got the shot away. Umpire, I wonder if the umpire waited to see what the result of the kick was before deciding if it was going to be an advantage or not. Umpire seemed to delay there.
But still, Charlie McCartan, this is potentially a cheap one, I think, for Hudson O'Keefe. Particularly when the ball's coming into the forward line like that for a tall player. It's been a grubber along the ground. He's probably no chance to pick it up below his feet anyway, so...
Missed one in the first quarter, did Hudson O'Keefe. For the biggest lead of the day, either way, kicks the goal.
So a real benefit for Carlton in that they're getting goals from their ruckman. In this quarter we've seen Pitnet and O'Keefe kick goals. He's had his opportunities, hasn't he, O'Keefe? That's his 2nd shot on goal, and he dropped an absolute soda as well for another shot on goal in the first quarter. Harry Lemmy hasn't troubled the statisticians at the moment. Kicked the 3 last week. So fortunately for the Blues, they're getting goals out of their other tools, their ruckmen, who are going forward.
Pitnet and Pike, we go again. No winner out of the ruck initially. Pitt net tackled off his kick. There was high contact there, no advantage. It's going to come back to Hughes. Middle of Icon Park. I think you're right, Dan. You literally cannot fault this playing surface right now. It is spectacular.
Well, we've had a nice amount of rain in Melbourne over the last 3 or 4 days.
Much needed as well, I must say. Kolajasny going wide. It's Riccardi just poking one into the pocket and kept his eye on the ball the entire time there. Took it nicely, did Ethan Phillips. We know he's so good at that.
Yeah. He struggles, if anything, Ethan Phillips, is when he takes the mark, sometimes he can have a head-shaking moment kicking the ball out of defence, but he was able to hit his teammate there.
Boyd to Evans, and then the big punch to kill it from Rantel. It's going to go out of play, boundary throw. In fact, it was Mitch Lloyd with the fist there. He's got the job right now on Lemmy, who, as you mentioned, has not been sighted in this game so far, Dan.
Yeah, when you think it's his 3rd year now, young Lemmy, and I know they tried him back last year, and this year has been reasonably successful as a forward.
6 goals to his name in the Smithies VFL. Camporelli to Camporelli. Ben to Lucas. Was there anyone near that ball? Geelong are going to claim that the intent was one that was deliberate. And they won that argument. Herbert. No one really standing the mark. Evans applying some level of pressure. Cali under pressure here. Nelson the tackler. Herbert went in to help. They've worked it out okay. Rantel eventually getting it out. And it's a long ball inside 50 by Mattify Forbes. It's going to be claimed near the goal line, well by Cowan. Gets the 1-2 here, Cowan. Lowish ball, okay. Eventually marked by Lucas Camporelli. Back to his brother. Camporelli going by hand to Nelson. First goal kicker of the game today. Lowish ball here is Lemmy. Quick hands off. Picked it up well. Moya the 1-2 with Pitt net. Then went further wide. Evans over the shoulder. Ramshaw back out there. That's good to see. Ramshaw around the corner. Tried to set it up. Ball pokes up in the air. Moya actually grabbed it really well, but gave it up to Kolajasny. He wants to switch it. He thinks he found someone in space on the outer side, Ballantyne. He will get the ball.
That's the struggle with young players. I know Lemmy's still in his 3rd year, but if you haven't touched the ball, mentally it can be a challenge for you. But well done on that occasion to be able to pick up that ground ball cleanly.
This short kicking game from the Cats is catching them out every now and then. We've got a stoppage now.
Well, what we're seeing, and we've seen it obviously in the AFL, is the umpires are applying the 15-metre rule as play on so many occasions. And I actually like the rule. It's about time. Came in.
Yeah, any rule that keeps the ball moving, Dan, will be one that I'm for. That's for sure. I don't know how you stop, sort of repeat stoppage and the ball not really moving so much. Anything that keeps it flowing is a win for me. Carlton ball out of sight. It was reclaimed by Wilson, kept it as a low data. Where's the space going to be here? Tackled was Cowan, but didn't actually make it stick, so he was able to get the ball out in the end. Wilson got another touch. Camporelli now. Boyd has to work his way through here. Handball off. There's just nothing happening right now. Charleston wrapped up. Didn't call his name in the first quarter much either, Harry Charleston.
No, we didn't. That's because he's only had the one disposal.
Don't know how many guys might be on managed minutes here today. Kick into space. Camporelli. Lucas pushed. Is that a professional foul maybe?
Really interesting one for me is the Carlton, the amount of wingmen that they've got to choose from. They've got Camporelli and Binns playing in this game, and obviously they've got some, Akers and Hollands and these types playing in the AFL game. So not an easy spot to win. Cottrell as well as plays on the wing. So Really got to be at your best.
Good contested mark by Kolajasny there in front of Lemmy. This is Herbert. Leading ball getter for the Cats right now, Herbert. That's number 9. Pike. Camporelli there on the scene as well. Lucas looking to handball back in board. Evans riding the tackles, did well, gets it back from Nelson. Evans well played, eventually out to Hogg, who's been good. Over the head of Lemmy. Out the back we go, McMahon won't keep it in.
Wow, the disposal count now is nearly at plus 50 for Carlton. They are just controlling this game.
Ben Camporelli shot up the board as well. He's up to 13 then.
He's had the ball on a string. So is Binns as well. He's up to 11.
All thrown in here. O'Keefe in ruck against Pike, who gave away the free kick. Sometimes you can't tell in these ruck contests, Dan. Geelong get the goal here.
Oh dear.
That's a bad kick. Evans. Again, Geelong's kicking, letting him down today.
Once again, a case of a ruckman potentially should have just given it off to a little mid.
Evans does well to find O'Keefe. He's going for his second. It's the kicking that's really letting the Cats down. In the AFL game on Monday, of course, they were the beneficiaries of the opposition doing that then.
They were. I was at that game.
I've never seen such a bad kicking game, that one. May well have decided it on Easter Monday. O'Keefe going for his second. How's his kicking? That's a shank. I think you'd normally get the protection on that side, wouldn't you, Dan, with the administration building? No major wins to speak of out here today. Outside ball for Riccardi. Low data, gets away from Wybird. Doherty was there with him.
And a smattering of Carlton fans are really happy with what Sam Doherty did there. They just love the guy. 13th year in the AFL system, and I know he's had his struggles with illness, and I think he's done both of his knees.
If you do want to, if you're coming in for the AFL game today, or AFL games, there are 2 in Melbourne today, come in and have a look at this game. If you are on your way into the AFL one later on, little kick there from, I think it was Doherty again. Good little pass for Moya. Doesn't want to shoot right now. Moya might have to. He's going at 2 goals a game so far this year in the Smithies VFL. Doubt you're ever going to see a better first goal at the top level than what Moya did last year at Optus Stadium, Dan. Gets close to the man on the mark here. Left foot's on its way for Moya. It was accurate enough. Did it go over the line? I think the goal umpire thinks it did.
It has to be a goal.
Goal for Moya. And the Blues out to an 18-point lead.
Well, he's a difficult player to play on, is Moy, because he's that 6'1", 6'2" height. I spoke about him going in the middle of the ground before and playing as a midfielder, but he can play as a small forward, a medium marking forward. So it's that height and his versatility that is of benefit to him and the team. And they kick away here, the Blues.
They've kicked 4 goals in a row, Carlton.
Now they're at plus 57 in terms of disposal, so just around the ground. Even though they're just on top of Geelong in the clearances, they're able to win the ball back and control the football.
The Blues do have more than double the number of AFL players out there compared to Geelong. It's 15 versus 7 today. Evans, what's happened there? It's Geelong free kick, ripped off the ball. Closey
Well
is
done
going to reclaim it.
by Ted Closey. That's real leadership there. Extremely strong tackle on Archie Stevens.
Closey, the only named emergency for the AFL game that's out here in the VFL today. Held over were Duncan and Stevens inside 50 once more. Just a little fumble there at the wrong moment by Boyd, but enough bodies around it so that it wasn't of any consequence in the end. It's a stoppage. Blues have kicked 4 in a row here, looking for their first win of the Smithies VFL season. comes to ground. The fixture might just open up for them a little bit as well, the Blues. They've had some difficult games to start. Close one going down at Arden Street last week on Good Friday. Coburg will be the next opponent for the Blues. They lost the TV game against Southport here earlier in the season.
It's not going to be an easy game though, Coburg.
Coburg are on the improve, that's for sure.
They're really exciting to watch, Coburg, the way they move the ball. Watched them against Williamstown a few weeks back and
win on Good Friday, yep.
Smashing of Williamstown.
So what can Geelong do with this? Sarcevic taken down, not once but twice. High tackle committed by Lockie Cowan. Jack Sarcevic. This is a low percentage shot, I think, Dan. They're really struggling from range today. It's just getting a bit swirly out there. I think our effects might starting to pick up some of that breeze that might be out there.
What Jack Sarcevic is at local football is a really good kick for goal. He's known for these type of long goals.
Plays where then? Locally?
Yes, you're correct. Bell Park he plays for. He just missed on that occasion. I remember reading about a game where he kicked a long goal to win them the game by a point, I think it was, for Bell Park in the GFL.
Wilson to Boyd.
Oh dear.
And what's happened there? Oh no. It might be okay because Cowan was there. It's going to be a ball up. Both teams are doing it, just making silly errors in the back half. All 5 Carlton bench players waiting to come on right now, Dan. Look at that, just below us. They're all lined up. Pitnet does come on. Luke Power with the headset on down there as well. Is this going to stay in play? No. They're all waiting to come on. Monahan, Vickery, Camporelli. I think that's Camporelli times 2. They're both down there right now. Pitnet has just come on, but he will not contest the ruck here.
Looks like Ben's got the headband today and Lucas just with the trendy haircut.
Again, the ruck standing a long way back. It's ended up in Geelong hands. A snap at goal's going to go through. Tobin Murray gets it done. Much needed one for Geelong.
Yeah, that's a big blue by Hudson O'Keefe there, taking it out of the ruck and just handing it off to his opponent. He was on the move, on the fly there was Tobin Murray.
They're all coming off now for the Blues. Doherty's coming off. Hogg coming off. Wilson, they're all coming on now. Both Camporellis, they're running straight to the middle, Dan. I think one will go onto the wing though. Looks like Ben in the middle, Lucas on the wing.
Relatively quiet has Billy Wilson been. He's only had the 5 disposals. The surfer dude from Dramana. It's a little unlike him because he has been known to be a high possession player.
Yeah, to get his debut at AFL level, second year on the list. It's getting really breezy out there, isn't it? You can really hear it in the effects mic now. Closey, can the Cats get some momentum? That's going to clean bowl Cowan. Good recovery though. That was with Murray lurking as well as Ivicic. Out wide we go. Paul just setting one up over the top for Charleston. Didn't see much of him in the first quarter, Charleston. Inside 50 we go. Kolajasny again getting in front of Lemmy. He's having a rough time of it so far. It's a lot of experience he's got to deal with right now. Geelong will get the ball here. Closey having a good second term, up to 10 touches. To the wing, O'Keefe through his hands. Phillips sent it wide. Mark taken. Loose ball eventually picked up by Herbert. Running into trouble, look away handball, Polkinghorn. Rechko goes in for the Cats as well, regained by Cowan. He has to handball back into the chaos. Binns fumbling out of play. probably the right result. There was nothing pretty about that passage.
Just on Harry Lemmy, I've seen him as a reasonably strong lead-up player, but I'd love to see him be a little bit more physical in those one-on-one marking contests, to be able to have that ability to use his body and compete harder.
Closing to Rechko. This is all happening in tight quarters. They do get the turnover, Carlton. O'Keefe, little handball, good for Ben Camporelli. Goes further wide, but now some trouble here for Paul. Coming in to try and claim the loose footy there was Rechko, now Pike. Good kick for Kruger. Just sat low for him.
Well, that was what you'd call a fortuitous kick. I'm not sure if he actually meant that, Joe Pike, but nonetheless, quite often they're the ones that defenders don't like because they can't read it off the boot.
Might just be close enough here where he can sail this one through. Goalless so far today is Nathan Kruger. Kicked 3 against Box Hill last week. Having a good year so far. The left footer. It's yet another point kicked from that part of the ground, Dan.
Certainly struggling with set shots today. A little bit of a swirly breeze.
It's 6-4 to 4-10 here. O'Farrell. Another one out of the Essendon District League, Dan. Maribyrnong Park going down the line.
Yes, they've had a few talls, haven't they, Maribyrnong Park? Harry O'Farrell and a young Croft on the Bulldogs list.
Good win against Deer Park yesterday, Marby. Boundary throw in. Pitnet and Pike will go once more. Again, Dan, they just allow so much space in front, don't they, these two rucks in these modern day boundary throw-in setups. They stand a good 25 metres back. There's a legging free kick here going
almost
Carlton's way.
Almost too brave for his own good there, Ted Close. He first in, but he took the legs of Darcy Hogg.
So here is the Dramata boy, Billy Wilson. Pitnet looking to come in from behind. There were more cats at that landing site. Another throw in, so let's have a look at how far back the ruck stands here, Dan. They don't want to give an inch, do they?
How far do you think that would be? 20 metres?
I reckon it's going to land at least 10 metres short of where they're standing right now, at least. We'll see what happens. Pitnet looking to get the front position on Pike here. And that one wasn't so bad, I think.
Oh.
He actually stayed back, Pitnet, but he pushed Pike out of it.
Well, he's given away a few free kicks as well, so the youngster Pike winning a few frees.
Herbert taking the space here. Kruger's underneath this ball. Fist on it there from Phillips. Hughes. Bit of a nothing kick really into the space. Hogg has been really impressive today for Carlton. He'll concede ground to Binns. Hogg up to 13. Binns coming up for number 15. He's back at the top of the leaderboard for disposals. Is Binns. Haven't all been effective though, and that was again the case. Outside of the boot ball, that's not going to go through for a goal, and through the hands of Kruger. That shot is coming in from Riccardi.
So
If it was a shot.
Carlton have got both Wilson and Phillips in defence now, so they'll be hoping to hold on for one more day.
10-point ball game here, not far away from half-time. Ball punched down. Kruger
Nice hit up.
was caught in the cul-de-sac there, but he had the vision and the time and the poise. Jay Rantel. 3 goals from 3 games for him so far this year, looking to get this back out to 16 points. No, sorry, that'd be the other way, wouldn't it? Bring it down to 4.
They'll be disappointed with that, Carlton. Probably just wanted to create a few more stoppages and get through to half time, but Kruger's been able to hit up Jay Rantel.
Set shot goal kicking has been tricky so far today. That one does go through. Back inside a kick at Icon Park.
And for all their dominance around the ground, Carlton potentially come in a half time with only a 4-point lead.
There's a single Geelong supporter somewhere trying to get the chant going. I think that's in the legend stand. I've just spotted him.
I think that might be, could be famous. Get your binoculars on him there, Adam. Is that the man affectionately known as Teach?
I don't know who Teach is, but glasses on.
You may have seen him on a
White
YouTube
t-shirt.
video or two getting a little bit emotional over Gary Ablett Jr.
If you think that's him.
If that's him, he is one of the
It's a custom Geelong Cats t-shirt.
best people in football, is that man Teach.
The Cats a goal away from reclaiming the lead here. Blues had a run of 4 consecutive goals. The Cats have steadied as we get close to half time. They could, depending on other results today, the Cats go second on the ladder. Suffered their first loss of the year against Box Hill last week. They're in action right now against Port Melbourne. GWS could also go to second if they beat the Bulldogs today. It's a lovely kick
Great kick
by Charlton. And a chance at goal here once more for McMahon.
Just his leading pattern on that occasion, Liam McMahon, a lateral lead, but it was such a smart one, and an even smarter kick by Harry Charlton. So we know, or we think it's a left to right breeze, so Liam McMahon just be aiming for the left post or inside of the left post.
1 goal, 1 so far today for the skipper. We're beyond 30 minutes into the second quarter. Leans back on it a little too much. $11 goals, 11 behinds combined in this game so far. Herbert. Carrying through to half back. And not a bad game of footy here at Icon Park. Official up. Dan, what have you got for us as we get ready for the third term here? Some of the numbers that you're looking at, that you're keeping an eye on today.
Well, I talked about the disposal count in that first half. Carlton well on top, 181 to 127. But in terms of the other statistics, it's reasonably even. Other than the hit-outs, Carlton 23 to 13, but they're just not getting that real benefit from the hit-outs, 20 clearances apiece, unless Pitnet takes the ball out of the ruck.
So Pike's been his main opponent, obviously, in the ruck so far today. They'll go again here. Got front position there against Pike. Camporelli goes in. Rechko has him wrapped up. Got away from Evans. Ramshaw tried to batter his way through, as is normally his go. Ramshaw eventually got shepherded away from that ball. Cats will get it back. And the high kick closing towards half forward. Kruger, he loves to take a grab, but it's a low grubber inside 50. It trickles along here. There might be a chance here to get onto it. Boyd then missed it. Still a chance here for Chaplin. Picked it up eventually and missed. The Cats are a goal away from the lead here. Blues had kicked 4 in a row in the second quarter, Dan. The Cats steadied well.
Well, and full credit to Geelong for coming back. It looked to me when Carlton got to 18 points that it was going to be how far the Blues, but they knuckled down Geelong, turned it into a bit of a scrap, and were able to manufacture a couple of goals and get back into the game.
They're obviously well coached by Premiership coaching Mark Horrigan, but they are a seriously good unit here in the VFL, a good VFL program. The Cats made the finals last year. They've only got 7 AFL listed players compared to Carlton's 15 today. There is every chance they will still win this game despite that. Rantel into the middle of the ground. The kick just okay. Really had to stretch for it though, Chaplin. Now we're looking at Lewis. Late inclusion today with Duncan held over alongside Stevens. It's going to be a Carlton ball here. It's going to be claimed by O'Farrell.
really interesting contest there between Kruger and either Phillips or O'Farrell, the tall Carlton defenders.
Doherty coming up for disposal number 12 here. We'll take a bounce, Doc, before chipping it over the top for Ramshaw. That worked out pretty well. Ramshaw going wide. Mark taken by Nelson. Now Evans. Just beyond the arc here. Lemmy's going to have to come in from behind here. McCartan and Pike in front. Pike had it bounce to his hands. Rechko, Wybird kicked a goal in the first quarter. Wybird onto the left. He goes.
Good kick.
And a push out is going to be the call there.
So they're able to string 4 or 5 possessions together, Carlton, but it's just that last kick into the 50 that just haven't been able to convert as often as I'd like.
Herbert across half back, turns over, chance here for the Blues to pounce. And the kick going into the pocket, little left footer was good from Vickery. And the chance at goal is coming up for O'Keefe. He's had a lot of looks at goal today.
He has, but that's just a coach killer. I think it was Herbert with that lateral kick just getting picked off. And now O'Keefe, how many shots on goal for him now? This would probably be his 4th.
Chase that down in a moment. See what happens with this kick here. To put it back out to 10 points, slots it through nicely. Goal kicking was tricky in the first half. That one does go through for O'Keefe's second goal of the day. He's actually the first player on the ground to get multiple goals today. 2 goals, 1 for Hudson O'Keefe. He's had 6 contested possessions, taken 2 marks. He's got 9 hit-outs as well. 16 for Pittman, that is, in the hit-out category.
So 3 of their 7 goals coming from Ruckman resting forward. I think the Cats need to really look at Jordan Boyd when he's bringing the ball out of defence and just trying to make sure that he's not having an influence. He was heavily involved in that last passage of play where he kicked the ball dangerously to Doherty, but effectively he's such a good kick out of defence.
Starting to wonder if there's a threat of rain coming through here. Carlton free kick, Ben Camporelli. And there's a lead on offer from Moya. It's a lovely kick from Camporelli. This has been the dead pocket for goal kicking so far today. Camper claimed a couple of metres that he wasn't entitled to, and that will make it easier for Moya.
Sort of think about Moya. Once he gets his work rate up to an elite level, he could be a dangerous player.
He's a left footer.
Sure.
Perfect kick. So Hudson O'Keefe gets his second goal, and then immediately after, Ashton Moya gets his second.
I think the question mark we had at half-time, Adam, was more about can Geelong hold on here. They were just clinging on for dear life in that second quarter, and I just get the feeling this game might open up. So a big challenge here for the Cats. Of course, last week I think you were at that game.
I was, yep.
Against Box Hill, where the Cats were good early, but as the game went, they just faded away, and the game certainly opened up.
There is that risk when you're only carrying 7 AFL listed players compared to more than half a dozen on the, well, more than a full dozen on the other side. There's a holding infringement here going Carlton's way. Pitt net, quick handball off, and Cowan ran himself into trouble. Got taken.
Oh, the fend-off free.
Okay, it's a fend-off that was paid for closing. Relatively loose option across half forward there. Lewis wanting to go quickly into the pocket. And here he is up forward. Keaton Matafai Forbes started down back today. Here's his first game in the hoops. This is our first chance to see what he's got in front of the sticks, and he's on the right side for a left footer.
Well, he was a proficient forward playing for the Western Jets as a junior. And I like the fact that they've changed it up a little bit here and given him a look as a forward.
The Cats need this goal. Keaton Mattify Forbes onto the left. It's going to fall across the goal face off the side of the boot. Pike getting a hands on it. So that wasn't a great kick. Still a bit blustery out there perhaps. Kruger will take on Pitnet and Ruck. Kruger winning it down. Lewis taken immediately by Wilson.
Tanner Lewis, one of the late inclusions, as Mitch Duncan and George Stevens didn't take their position on the field.
Did that come off a boot? It did. Rantel waiting for the ball to come back into his hands. Wants to chip it in the pocket. Mattify Forbes now is on the wrong side for a left footer. And he's right on against the fence. He didn't want to take the shot. The lead coming into the pocket there for Sarcevic. Nice kick by Mattify Forbes. And Sarcevic will get a better look.
And that's a really difficult kick to actually pull off by Mattify Forbes there. I know he's got a booming left foot, but one of the things I'd love to see more from him is his ability to hit those 30, 35 metre kicks. So well done to him.
Problem was, Sarcevic is also a left footer, and that did not matter. Bananas a goal.
So they do it again, the Cats. Just when you think Carlton are going to get out to a strong lead, they pull it back to 10 points. I think they're very reliant on Ted Closey in the midfield today, the Cats. And he's just had a few moments where he's really stood up just when they needed him to. We see him here start the clearance with Marcus Herbert and Jay Rantel as well.
Got both runners just hovering around the wing here, Dan. The coaches love to have control as much as possible. Both runners out there right now for both sides as Herbert gets the clearance. Cats, every time they get close to taking the lead, that's when Carlton are able to hit back. Mattify Forbes coming into the game nicely. Over the head of Murray though, gets it now. Tobin Murray looking to go inboard. Kick was smothered on the way through. Pike, the handball, look away. Hughes goes in. God did well to get the handball out. Rechko, the one getting boot to ball. There's no mark even paid there perhaps for Phillips. He goes to Dockett. The umpire said play on for that one as well. Paul, he'll take the mark on the outer side.
Jack Sarcevic coming off the ground here looking really proppy. It looks like a lower leg injury perhaps.
Struggling to put weight on it. Doesn't look that bad, but bad enough where he needs two trainers to help him off the ground. Waiting to come on for him is Ivicic on his Geelong debut. Outer side ball right now. Wybird wins it back. A looping handball. Wybird once more. Has to go a third time. Wybird. Smothered ball. Boundary throw in.
So Lucas Camporeale just shaken up a little bit there by a big hit from a mature age body in Charlie McCartan.
Pike and Pitnet once more. It favoured Pitnet. Just tried to guide it down in front of Archie Stevens. Number 16 for Carlton, Ben Camporeale, has 16 disposals. He's a leading ball getter on the ground so far. Cats ball. Rantel one way to the other. Had to get it out. Wybird's been busy the last couple of minutes. Left foot towards half forward we go. Good jump at the ball there by Murray, and he will claim it. So, but Murray kicked a goal late in the second quarter for the Cats. They're 10 points down right now. The booming right footer, Polkinghorn and Pike are both down there, but front position. It's given away. O'Farrell thought he had it, but the ball gets handed to Joe Pike.
Must have been against one of the Carlton tools for a block, I would have thought. I didn't really see that, so we've seen a few of those, haven't we, over the last few weeks in the AFL, a number of free kicks in front of goal for the block. So I wonder what coaches will be doing in instructing their defenders. You've really got to make sure that it's not so obvious.
Hasn't kicked a goal since going onto the AFL list. Joe Pike, right foot pokes at it and it goes through, and it's back down to 4 points again. Ted Closey's up to 15 touches now, Dan. He's been really strong since quarter time. 11 for Rechko among the AFL listed Cats. Herbert has 13.
What they've had Geelong here is in this last 5 minutes, when the game looked like it was going to get away from them, was just the ability to really compete in contested ball situations. I think that's one of the strengths of this team. And they've been able to, on the back of that, get the ball forward. Mattify Forbes has looked dangerous when he's gone forward, so back to 4 points.
This time it's O'Keefe and Chaplin in ruck. O'Keefe with the tackle here, making sure that Rantel is going nowhere. Good game of footy, this one. But the Cats have really struggled to get that next one, haven't they, Dan, to actually get the lead. And if they do get the next one, it can change the psyche of this game. Ben Camporelli, Doherty, Lucas Camporelli, full 360, worked out well. Paul streaming forward. Lemmy the target, placed it well. McCartan, I should say, slapping the turf in frustration. And Harry Lemmy will get his chance to restore a 10-point buffer for the Blues.
Ben Camporelli, for a young player, I know he's an inside mid, but he's been exceptional in close today, and just on that occasion was able to give his team first use by winning a contested ball.
Lemmy averaging 2 goals a game so far in the Smithies VFL. Placed it well. And that must be awfully frustrating for Mark Corrigan. Every time the Cats get close, the Blues have the answer.
Just keeping an eye out here, Adam, for Jake Kolodjasny and what Geelong may have done with him. Have we seen him on the ground in this third quarter? I don't think so. I'm just
No, he's not out there right now.
navigating
Very
the
prominent.
ground here, but I think maybe that's what they would probably have done with Kolodjasny's play, manage minutes for him.
Still coming back from that groin issue. So very prominent in the second quarter. Kolodjasny was quite good across half back for the Cats. Was named for the Box Hill game last week, but did not take the field there.
Similarly,
so we don't have a good view on the bench today from
no,
our
we
vantage
don't.
point.
But similarly, I'm looking for Xavier Ivicic as well.
O'Keefe handballing. Chaplin stealing. A lot of humanity around that Sharon.
Xavier Ivicic is on the ground at the moment, so I was just wondering what they might do with him as well in his first game back.
Halfway through the third quarter, 10-point lead for the Blues. O'Keefe. Stevens. Kicked it and go far,
Yes.
but was it given away?
A good decision, that.
So the free kick is claimed by Vickery. Long and deep, and Moyer should become the first man here today to get to 3 goals.
Yeah, he's certainly got some talent in the air for a man of his size.
So will your mate Teach behind the goal be trying to put him off here, Dan? Are you still sure it's him? Arms crossed behind the icon sign there.
I think it is. There's another guy there with an Australian flag.
He's put on a Geelong jumper at half time, that guy.
Oh, gee
Moyer's
whiz.
missed. He didn't do anything to try and put him off. Does look like the same guy. He was wearing a custom Geelong t-shirt. Now he's got the hoops on.
If it is that man Teach, if Geelong had a game in the Antarctic, he'd be there to watch.
We'll be moving over to the G later today. Herbert here. Busy day in Melbourne. With Marvel and the G in action today, Dan. Might go watch my Hawks later on against the West Coast Eagles. High contact, free kick.
Oh, very lucky there. Ted Close, he didn't give the ball back.
Doherty's kick, just getting a hand on it there. Lewis the turnover. And it's Chaplin going towards half forward. Is that another mark for Kruger? Hasn't taken as many today as Nate Kruger.
He did have the opportunity then, Kruger, just to give the little git to Closey, who was unmarked, and he could have ran into goal.
Look at this, Dan. He's got no interest in passing this off. He's giving himself a Michael Holding sort of run up here with the man on the mark right on 50.
Yeah, you're right. I think Graham Dilley would be impressed with this run up.
"25 steps, Dan. I counted that one out. 25 steps to absolutely shank it to the square. And he got pretty close to the man on the mark as well. I was counting those out in my head, Dan. I got to 25 by the time he finally shanked it.
I'm watching Ted Close, who's still really upset that Nathan Kruger didn't give him the little give there. He's still protesting with him. Oh, not another one here.
Yeah, Lewis held in the ruck. I reckon that one was there definitely against O'Keefe. It's often hard to spot the ruck infringement, Stan, but that one I think was definitely there. A shot for Tanner Lewis here.
They've had so many shots within about a metre or two of goal, haven't they, Geelong? Whether it's from free kicks or marks.
Yet again, to bring it back into single figures and within a kick. Lewis kicks the goal. The problem for the Cats is, though, getting the next one. The Cats have not seen the lead since around quarter time. It was level at quarter time. The Blues got a late goal in the first quarter to bring it level. So late in the first quarter last time, the Cats had the lead.
He does have to clean up some parts of his game, though, does Hudson O'Keefe. He's given away a few free kicks today. And that may not have occurred if they had killed the ball. I know it was a bit of a mongrel finger breaker, Nathan Kruger kicking it in defence, but they had to kill the ball and reset Carlton. That may not have been a goal.
Cats going forward once more. One arm to work with, and it was still taken by Polkinghorne. Kick to go in the first quarter. Same angle that Kruger had, but he's 10 metres closer to goal this time. He's Polkinghorne. And if it goes through, the Cats will finally reclaim the lead here.
Well, as we know, his accuracy is usually quite reasonable.
Big right football coming up. It's going to go left to right. It's coming back. The goal umpire to make the call, which I think will be 6. Geelong in front.
It's actually such a weapon for a key forward who might not have many opportunities in a game, but a guy like Jay Polkinghorne, who is known for his accuracy, he might only have 3 or 4 shots for goal, but if he can convert all or most of them, then he's worth his weight in gold. And he's one of the few players today who sit that ball just out to the left of the goalpost and let it work back. We've seen so many shots on goal missed to the right. And hard to believe they're actually in front, the Cats. Well done to them.
4 of the last 5 goals belong to Geelong. We'll go again out of the middle here. Pitnet and Pike once more. Neither of them want to jump at it. Pitnet won it down. Camporelli. Ramshaw claimed by Rantel. Got dragged along for a little while. Closey will give it back to the umpire.
I know his brother Lucas has played AFL football already, but Ben, for me, is going to be a real player. He's just so clean inside.
Ben was the one taken first, 11 picks ahead in the draft last year. Boundary throw in. So Monahan been off for a while, doing some run-throughs there. Had a good start to the game, Monahan, today. Just was doing some run-throughs there, not far away from where the ball is right now, Dan. He's off the ground right now, obviously. Doesn't accumulate a lot of it. Out of County Kerry, which I do believe is Ty Kennelly's home in Gaelic football.
You're looking for me to nod and agree with you. I actually don't know.
So it's only the local players from down here that you know where they come from, Dan.
All I know is
County. A bit more from the.
There's County Cork. There's Kerry. What are the other major counties?
Kerry's the one in the green and yellow. Inside 50 here. Rechko. We'll stick with the Aussie rules for now. Boundary throw in.
Well, hello.
There is talk that we're going to get some international rules once more.
Okay.
In the next year or two that I've heard.
For those of you listening in Ireland, hello to you at 3 in the morning.
I think it's back on the agenda for Andrew Dillon. Ramshaw. Stevens. Eventually Ramshaw. He's the one that will send it in toward the hot spot. Off hands we go. Rechko's kick is good for
Well
Polkinghorn.
worked out that.
Cats lifting here, and they do lead the game. They've kicked 4 goals in this third quarter. Rechko had to get away from Cowan, kicked it and go far. Boyd, Charlson, Ben Camporelli had to go look away. It was a good option to take. Stevens going in the direction of Vickery, but over the head, it's going to fall out of play. Intensity lifting here.
Well, it is. I mean, Carlton want to win a game of football. They haven't won one. They've been involved in 2 really close games where they just haven't got over the line, and this one is a 1-pointer at the moment.
They lost the season opener to Box Hill. They've had a couple of night games here to start the season. Obviously lost under lights against Southport in a game that was on the screens of 7. Vickery, it's an empty square. How is that going to bounce? It's going to go the wrong way. Colin Jasney's still out there. This must be on really managed minutes today. McCartan. Capper on the skipper. Wants to keep on going. Riccardi. Takes a bit of space in the corridor, then goes long. And it was practically an uncontested mark for Phillips in the end. What a good player he is at this level, Dan.
Yeah, and that's just his bread and butter. If you kick it up too high in an outnumber situation, Ethan Phillips usually intercepts.
Binns with the short pass for Vickery. Binns has 16 touches today. Camporelli's up to 20. That's Ben.
We haven't seen much of Binns this quarter, have we? I think he was at 15 at half-time.
Yeah, had a hot start to this game. Vickery for Lemmy, getting in front there, getting a fist on it. Lloyd. Kelly taken quickly by Binns. Tackled onto the massage mats there. Andrew throwing.
I think that was my point there with Harry Lemmy. His ability in those one-on-one situations to be able to out-body his opponent. Just wasn't even able to do that against, I think it was Mitch Lloyd there.
Just noticed that a Geelong medico came out before that throw-in to have a chat with Ted Closey, who then waved him off. So is there a concern for Closey perhaps? Holding the ball, free kick, Moya pinged. It's going to be claimed by Lewis. He's done some nice things today, Tanner Lewis. Kruger coming in from behind. As O'Keefe trying to claim the mark there. Came off hands. Kruger in ruck. Rantel. 2-on-1 here, really. Just a one on his own in the end. Easy mark for Cowan. The other 2 had peeled off. Moya. Doherty. Evans.
Yeah, good kick.
Perfect kick. McMahon. Only has the 1 goal so far today. And the captain can put his side back in front with 3/4 time, not that far away.
I thought that might be a strength of theirs before the game, Carlton, was their ability to rebound off half-back, particularly with the strength of some of their ball users. Doherty in particular. Lockie Cowan as well.
Spins it in his hands. Hopefully close enough where the winds won't have too much impact on this ball. And I think he hit that off the instep.
He'd be disappointed with his result today, McMahon. 1 goal, 3. Missed a couple of sodas as well.
Carlton's kick a little too cute there for Herbert. He got taken quickly. Scores level at Icon Park. It stays that way, Dan, I must admit. It's been a long time since I've had a close one. On AFL.com.au on the AFL Live Official. There's been a lot of close games in the Smithies VFL this year. Kicks after the siren and so forth.
I was
there
involved.
There was a draw early in the season as well.
A game where Richmond won a game after the siren against Sandringham.
Nice for me to be on the stick for a close one, Dan. Let's hope this one stays close to the end. Almost a mark. Was a mark for Hudson O'Keefe.
He's had his hands full today in defence as Charlie McCartan. Been outmarked on a couple of occasions. Just wasn't able to bring that ball to ground.
Keeps getting looks at goal, does O'Keefe. Two goals, 1 for his day so far. 13 hit-outs, 4 marks. Directly in front. Any score puts Carlton in front.
I think that's his second on the full today. Once he had 5 or 6 shots on goal now. 2 goals, 1 and 2 out on the full.
No score, therefore no lead for the Blues. Colajaz, is that going to stay in? It did. Ball comes back from the crowd.
But just on O'Keefe, I just wonder what the plans are for Carlton with O'Keefe, because I think his mobility, agility, his ability to go forward, there's a bit to work with there.
Both he and Lemmy in their 3rd year on the AFL list and yet to debut, Dan.
Well, as we know, some ruckmen take 5 to 6 years.
That's right.
To even get to the level, so...
There's 2 rucks out here today. Pitnet to do battle with Kruger here.
Look at Big Pitnet, 73, I think, AFL games. He's been around the system for 10 years.
Former Hawk. He gets front position here. Dribbler. Lemmy didn't really get a chance. Moyer in the pocket. A high ball just setting up for Nelson. Good luck marking it. There's just too many bodies around this ball right now. 61 plays 61. The scores were level at quarter time as well.
30 minutes. The Cats have just want to have that siren ring now, I think.
This is Paul. He's pushed out of it by Hughes. Overrun by Kolajasny. Cats want the line and get it. It's taken over rugby style by Kelly. Will we be level again as we were at quarter time? Still dark and gloomy, no rain. Looked like it might have come down earlier in this quarter. Moyer tackled a Cat who never had the footy. And it's 9-7-61 to 9-7-61 between the Blues and the Cats in this round 5 clash at Icon Park. Dan, some thoughts before
Ian was hobbling a little bit, but he was in his civvies and seemed to be talking to his friends and family without too much emotion, so fingers crossed for Jack.
He did kick a goal right before that injury, holding the ball. Free kick early here for the Blues. Doherty hand passing out quickly.
Oh.
Wilson, not sure about that handball from Doherty because it neutralised the footy. Now Geelong have it. Matafai Forbes has been everywhere today. Now he's in the middle. Started back, went forward. Doherty again. 1-on-1 at half forward. Capron got a hand on it. Up against McMahon. Ball up.
So Doherty has gone into the middle. Billy Wilson to half back.
Wybird here for the Cats. Polkinghorne has 2 blues to deal with, and one of them was Phillips, and then a clean bowl, Kruger. Boyd was waiting for it out the back. Short one for Monaghan. Had a good first half today, Monaghan.
Ooh.
Turnover. It's been a story today for both teams. Rechko, he'll go all the way to the square. Kruger will hand back the lead for the Cats. He finally has a goal here today, Nathan Kruger.
Well, they do like to be dangerous across half-back, the Blues. But I'm not sure if you want the Irishman Monaghan to be that player. Certainly if it was Jordan Boyd or maybe Sam Doherty, you would trust them a little bit more. But unfortunately Monaghan, who did start the game well, has had a big blue there, and the Cats are on the board early in the fourth quarter.
Kruger moved forward last week, had started in defence this year for the Cats. Kick 3 against Box Hill, has one on the board now. Cats could be second on the ladder tonight, depending on other results around the grounds. It's a busy day in the VFL, 4 games today. Carlton just looking for their first win of the season. The debutant here, Williamson. And it fell to Polkinghorne, who kicked one from this sort of range in the third quarter. That kind of angle as well, I think, Dan. This time he doesn't want to have a shot. Closey. Did he get ripped off the ball illegally there? Umpire did see it from Vickery. Free kick to Closey. He'll be too far out to score from here. Kruger's in the square right now. Polkinghorne a little further up as well. Kruger still on the lead. Kick coming his way. And he's going for 2 in a minute. And to give Geelong their biggest lead of the day.
They're just so competitive in the middle of the Cats. Their pressure on Carlton, after Carlton dominated early in those centre clearances, they've been able to just pull it back and make it a contest.
The left foot ball from Kruger is missing. 7-point lead for the Cats, which I still think is a game high for them today. Jordan Boyd. That kick again, they've got to be careful. Juggling Vickery, did eventually get it. Ivicic was on him. Fascinating to see the minutes that the AFL listed Cats are getting today, Dan. Kolajasny on and off. Ivicic not cited too much. This is Binns. He's been a little on and off as well. Accumulated a lot of ball in the first half. Did Jackson Binns, he's fallen right off on the stat sheet. He's up to 17 now. Camporelli, still the leading ball getter on the ground. Ben Camporelli, that was disposal number 21. Bouncing ball in the corridor. Mattify Forbes look away handball. Equally effective was the second one as well there. It's the Kolajasny ball out to the wing. Ivicic run onto it. Polkinghorne with the mark here. Cats have wanted to play the short game a lot today. Taj Wybird. Chaplin underneath this one. Rechko coming in from behind. It falls out the back. Binns handball off Doherty. He'll go short. Just carried the distance there for Camporelli. Disposal number 22. 7 of those have been contested today. 5 inside 50s and 3 clearances for Ben Camporelli. Wilson.
They don't like to kick to contest, Carlton. They like to always find the free man, take the uncontested mark, but well defended here by Geelong.
McCartan against Paul. Paul stays on ground level, lost the ball in the end. Moyer applies some tackling pressure. There's a cat hurt just in behind all of this. They're already down 1 man today. Sarcevic out of the game on ice. It's McCartan slow to get up. It looks like he'll be okay. The medicos are waved off. Kelly with the free kick here for the Cats.
Uncontested marks Carlton 84 to Geelong 48.
It'll land on 50 here. Was he pushed out? Kruger Gets it anyway, Kruger. Ivicic out wide, Closey, Binns has him. Handballed it forward, tap on, Mattify Forbes. Chance here maybe for Murray, but he couldn't get to it. It's Doherty, last line of defence. Here's Camporelli looping over the top, and it's just reeled in by Hogg. Good kick by Lucas Camporelli. Gets it back here. Could go to his brother in board, decides to take a bounce instead. Wider ball for Vickery. Moyer looking to get rid of McCartan and did. Moyer could go all the way here. Decides to handball instead. Ramshaw, he's the one that gets the look and kicks the goal. 1 point ball game at Icon Park.
He's just got this innate ability to create something out of nothing, Ashton Moyer, in a 50-50 contest. I just think the next part of his game is to get his body right and to get as fit as he can. I noticed a couple of minutes ago he was already cramping. Isn't Lucas Camporelli an interesting watch? He just runs up and down the ground all day, extremely fit. So well done to Carlton. Great ball use. They do have that ability from deep in defence to transfer all the way up to the other end of the ground without their opponents touching the ball, and they did it again on that occasion.
12 disposals today for Lucas Camporelli. Brother Ben, 22, leading all comers. 21 now for Sam Doherty as well. Distributing across half-back and inside defensive 50 is Doherty. Rantel out to Rechko. Down on his usual output. Rechko's had a good start to the season for the Cats. Here's Kruger looking to get the instant reply, but the momentum took that ball away from the goal face.
Here we go. What will Jordan Boyd do here? He likes to be creative from kick-ins.
Geelong score now matching the jumping number for Nathan Kruger. They're up by 2 points. Pitt in that front position. Ball carried through all the way to the back though. Lloyd. Handball just sat for a while for Hughes. Now Herbert rushes it inside 50. Who's going to pick it up first? That's a really interesting handball by Phillips. And it might result in a goal for the Cats, but that soccer was not a good decision to make there. Blues get it back. Binns.
He does have those moments as Ethan Phillips. A little bit nervous with ball in hand deep in defence.
Doherty does well to pick out Moyer, who picked it up well from the ground.
Ooh.
Monaghan dispossessed and did not dispose legally. Herbert has the free kick for Geelong. They lead it by 2 points. Trailed by as much as 18. When the Blues got a run on in the second quarter, they fly for it. A number of plays went up for that ball. Doherty, now equal leading ball getter on the ground alongside Ben Camporelli with 22. That ball's going to be punched out of play.
Carlton getting big numbers back in defence whenever Geelong are entering their 50. Kruger and Polkinghorne looking dangerous.
No one's picked it up yet. Rechko does now. Ramshaw takes him quickly. Ball did come out. Umpire's about to call for the ball up there. Pushing it back. Geelong free kick. Rantel. Just off the bench is Herbert. Maybe he wasn't off the bench. He was just lurking near the gates there, Herbert. Came in late, did Polkinghorne, holding free kick Cats anyway. And he has to give it to Kruger.
They've certainly been on the umpire's side today, the Cats, with 24 free kicks to 14. A number of those have been inside 50.
It is raining very, very lightly here right now. First time we've seen the rain today. That will make things a little slippery. Kruger going for his second of the quarter. Free kick count for those interested today, Dan. 24-14 Geelong's way. Left foot ball from Kruger. Is a goal. And they're out to an 8-point lead.
Ethan Phillips just protesting his case to the umpire there.
Inside 50s, 36 apiece, by the way, Dan.
You might have heard the Geelong players through our effects mic here talk about wanting to shift the ball. I think they were getting a little bit frustrated with the fact that they were just kicking the ball up and down the tram tracks inside their 50. I think they want to make those defenders like Ethan Phillips, Jordan Boyd, I think they want to make them defend because they do like the high ball. But on that occasion, looks like Phillips just got a little nervous and put his arms around big fella Kruger.
Carlton needs to take advantage of the fact they've got 15 AFL listed players against Geelong 7 right here and now. Cats going forward again. Doherty had it knocked out of his hands. 23 touches now for Sam Doherty, leading ball getter on the ground. 15 of those has been kicks, a couple of clearances, 6 contested possessions for Sam Doherty today.
If it's a contested ball game, I think it's on Geelong's terms. I think Carlton will, when they win possession, want to spread from the contest and make the ground big, so to speak.
Doherty again, that's another contested possession for him. Ramshaw, Vickery, Lemmy. They flood back inside forward 50. Lemmy looking to cut inside or get around Caperon. Might go himself, Lemmy. Right foot's on the way, but the goal umpire working to their left.
Another one missing to that side.
Kolajasny will go short to Rantel. Wybird next. Kicking has at times let the Cats down today. There'll be a long ball from Wybird. Best position, O'Keefe. Showing good signs in the air today, O'Keefe. Wilson. So Polkinghorne following Boyd through there.
They will look lateral at nearly every occasion, the Blues, if they can. Whereas Geelong, they play a little bit of a different game. They'll just try and move the ball forward. They're very... Oh, here we go.
Ben Camporelli, by the way, up to 23 touches as the Cats force the turnover. Closey, 21 for him. Mattify Forbes. Left foot, 2-on-1. Carlton here. Vickery will track it back. He's got the support option there in Phillips. How's that kick from Phillips? Better. Boyd takes the mark, will go inboard. Barely the distance covered, but okay for Evans. Plenty of time in this game. Margin 7 right now. Carlton's led for most of it, but they're down as we speak. Charlson had a runner out wide, eventually gets to Lucas Camporelli. Over the head of Riccardi, it bounced through. Nice handball there by Ramshaw. Nelson, first goal kicker of the game today. Kicking, Kolajasny got a fist on it. Cats want to rush it. 6-point ball game at Icon Park.
Oh, he's given it. Wow.
So there's a moment.
Deliberate.
That could be a huge moment in this game. McMahon claims the free kick next to the point post. Still just one goal for McMahon. He now has 2.
When he initially volleyball spiked that ball over the behind line, I thought, oh, that's a little bit dangerous, but I didn't see the other umpire come in and award the free kick. So I'll trust the umpire in his judgment there, but what I am seeing is that Carlton trying to move the ball laterally and quickly as often as they can. It can be a dangerous way of playing because they have turned the ball over in their defensive half on a few occasions, particularly with that slight drizzle coming in. Back to my point before, Adam, in the differences in game style. Geelong like just to move the ball forward and gain territory, whereas Carlton are prepared to move the ball any which way they can.
But a close one here today at Icon Park. Cats by a point. Closey going inside 50. He wants Polkinghorne. It's going to bounce past him. Phillips again. Dump kick out. Second time in a couple of minutes that he's done that. This time, though, it might be a Geelong mark.
Courageous.
Closey had to take the contact there from Paul. Herbert might not have ever had it. Ivasic did well to extract it. Hughes now. Rechko Not much penetration on the kick. It's going to be punched through by Monahan.
Well, he's been huge today for me, Ted Close. Just his bravery, his contested ball ability.
Ball just stayed in play there for Binns, and now Cowan, Wilson. Got to be patient here, Carlton, not commit the error, and Phillips has.
Yeah, he has one or two of those a game, unfortunately, Ethan Phillips. If he could eradicate that from his game, he'd be a much better player.
Wybird, Nelson was coming, had the poise just to hold on a bit longer. Kruger is marking everything in this last quarter. He's a right footer, I believe. He's going to go on the left here. Didn't hit it too well. Cowan. 3-point ball game here. Blues have not won a game in the Smithies VFL this year. Geelong have only lost one. That was against Box Hill last week. Paul, look at the space for Lemmy, and streaming back is McMahon. Lemmy takes a bounce. Got to place it well for McMahon here. It'll bounce through to the skipper. Looking for options in board, but a great smother to kill it off by the other skipper in Caperon.
If you're going to be playing against this Carlton team, I think they've got Coburg next week. You'll be wanting to watch the vision of their kick-ins. They are just so proficient in getting the ball up the other end so quickly, and they did it again on that occasion.
We'll be on the call for that one, Dan, next week on afl.com.au at Barry Plant Park. Here is Binns. High wobbler. It'll fall on the full. Kelly. Caperon can easily send it further down the line for Wybird. That was Wybird, so who gave it to him? That was McCartan that gave it to Wybird. Apologies for that. And toward the middle of the wing we go. Push out, free kick Geelong.
Oh, nice kick.
Look at the space though, Ivicic here. Wants to get around Camporelli, have a go himself. Ivicic. On Geelong debut, missing.
Just haven't been able to apply that killer blow, have they? The Cats have been peppering away.
Billy Wilson here. Momentum with the Cats right now. 11-12 for the game for them. That's a nice kick for Doherty. 25 touches for Doherty today. Have you liked what we've seen from the Doc?
I like the fact that they put him on the ball in this quarter. I know he's just come back on after his rest.
Kick to a 50-50 situation. Ball was left behind there by Williamson. Boyd just did enough to get it to Paul. Has to get rid of it. And he's kicked. It's a lot of Cats there.
Oh, well done.
Really set the task for Hogg. The numbers probably should win out here for the Cats, although Caperon fumbling. Lemmy applying the pressure. Caperon did well to recover. McCartan out of the danger zone. O'Keefe can't make it stick. Rechko. Oh, get out of danger, Kelly. 2-on-2 here. They all fall over. Illegal Shepherd. Which way is it going? Carlton's way. And Phillips will claim the free kick for the Blues.
Getting big numbers back of the Blues. They're almost playing a goaltender at the moment.
Margin 4. Momentum is Geelong's right now. Cowan for Boyd. They've got to be so careful with the ball here. Cowan providing the running outlet for Boyd, and he'll go towards half forward. And taking a late hit as he went for the mark was Paul. Is he thinking about a shot? He is pointing to the square right now. Boyd is asking for the handball option. Paul will hold on to it. Oliver Poole yet to get a goal in the VFL. Not even close. Touched, play on. And falling over Capron at the wrong moment there. Doherty is going to tackle that Cats player over the line. It's going to be a point.
I just think players like Boyd, Doherty, Cowan, these types off half-back are going to have a big say in this last 7 or 8 minutes of the game.
This Lloyd tackled out of play by Doherty. Herbert taking the space and then going long, and Pitnet took a good mark. And if it is slippery out there, that's a really good mark. There was some light rain earlier in this last quarter. That might have stopped for the moment. Monahan, Carlton a goal away from the lead. It's paid. And McMahon should put Carlton back in front.
Carlton have remained true to themselves in this last quarter. They haven't played safe. They are prepared to change up the angles. They've made a couple of blues, but as soon as they take a mark, they want to get the ball moving, whether it's laterally or forward.
Four goals in his previous 2 games this year. McMahon's got 3 today. And more importantly, his Blues are in front into time 1 of the final term. They're searching for their first win of the season.
So let's look at this midfield here now for the Blues. Doherty, Cowan,
Pitnet will do the ruck.
Pitnet, and looks like Heath Ramshaw, an experienced midfielder at this level. And the man for Geelong is really closey for me.
They've got Herbert and Rantel that will do the roving here with Pike against Pitnet in ruck. Game on at Icon Park. Blues getting a much-needed goal. Cats will get the nose. Left behind by Closey. The handball was misfired. High contact. Which way is it going? They're all streaming forward for the Cats.
Well, he was on there, Closey, wasn't he? But Tanner Lewis just fumbled a little bit. Luckily, he's got the free.
Kruger's been the go-to in the final term. He goes for it here. No mark taken. It fell to ground. Pike ripped off the footy. Wilson, it fell loose. It's Matafai Forbes. It's Geelong back in front.
Well, I know a little bit about that, Adam. Matafai Forbes kicking a goal.
Been a victim of it?
I have been a victim. Unfortunately, I coached against him a few years ago. He won a grand final with about 5 seconds to go. And now he's kicked a vital goal for the Cats. I really like the move of him forward. And something out of nothing there, but all comes down to that centre clearance, and the Cats were able to find a way to get it out of there.
5 lead changes today. Cats back in front. The Carlton lead lasted 1 minute and 19 seconds down.
Kruger starting on the wing here. That's a little bit unusual. Not sure what's going to happen here.
Standing next to Lucas Camporelli. Doherty hand pass out. Ramshaw's been good today. All of this by hand for the Blues. Then finally the shot away. That was from Hogan. 2-point ball game. Caperon to kick in. The captain. Two captains lined up on each other right now, I think. McMahon and Caperon. Polkinghorn and on the scene as well. O'Farrell. Polkinghorn rips off the footy. No free kick. That was from his fellow number 2 there in Cowan. Diving mark is paid for Closey. No, it's not. He fumbled it out of play. Closey, leading ball getter for the Cats today. 22 disposals. 13 of those have been contested. And 13 tackles for Ted Closey.
Once again, Carlton want the outnumber behind the ball, but I don't think Geelong want to give it to them.
Cats by 2 points right now. Forward of centre for Carlton. Herbert has to get rid of it. Did, but not really to advantage. Closey is pounced on. It trickles along the wing. Chaplin set the task. It was hard for him to extract it. Was it dragged back in? Blues want ball.
watch Carlton here if they get possession, particularly from a free kick or a mark behind the ball. They will just switch the play and want to open this ground up.
We don't know how long left. 25, nearly 26 gone, final term. Less than a kick in, and Doherty streaming forward. Evans, who's available inside 50. He spotted O'Farrell. 2 grabs at it. Was it O'Farrell or McMahon? A chance for the Blues to reclaim the lead. Harry O'Farrell will line up.
Doherty been huge in clearances in the last few minutes.
The Marby boy. Drafted to the club he grew up barracking for. Directly in front to put his baggers in front.
Looks good.
Carlton leads again. It's his first goal in navy blue, and they get around him. Harry O'Farrell gives Carlton the lead back.
And that was a big contested mark from O'Farrell. Sometimes you have moments in games of football, and he's had his. I'm just looking here towards the bench, and there is a big number 2 sign with a circle around it, so I think I know what that means. I'd imagine
Yes.
it suggests there's around 2 minutes left.
And we know that quarters are typically long in the Smithies VFL. We've only gone 27. So if that is correct, that there's only 2 minutes left, or roughly thereabouts, in a short quarter by VFL standards here. Pressure back on the Cats. Right now they're staring down the barrel of 2 consecutive defeats after winning their first 3 of the season.
He's been huge, Closey. He's such a
And
good
that
player.
nearly hit a target as well. Riccardi, it's going to go out. Remember his dad Peter kicked one after the siren against the Blues, remember? Under the lip. In 2002,
Yes,
is that right?
that was a contentious one, I think.
Could we see something similar against the same opponent here today? The Cats need something to happen. It goes out of play. The 2 signs still being held up on the Carlton bench.
Well, I don't think it means they want Sam Doherty to come off the ground. Or sorry, Lockie Cowan.
Doherty's just about being best on today. Boundary throw in, pit net down. Here is Close. He's been excellent. Doherty pulled him down. Caperon ripped off it. Herbert. Cats need a mark inside 50.
Oh, they're on here.
That's okay. Rantel. It was a good kick by Herbert. That kick, though, not so good. It's neutralised once more. Rantel, left foot into the space. It's a better chance here for the Blues. They had some numbers on the front side of that ball.
Oh,
The tackle on McMahon. He's gone into defence as the skipper. High contact.
Ooh, wow.
Free kick for the Blues. Boyd to claim it.
Now, I don't think he'll be doing anything too dangerous here, Boyd. She was probably a little bit lucky there, I thought, Liam McMahon.
The 30-second sign is up on the Carlton bench here, and that's why Binns is holding on to it as long as possible. This has to be a mark for the Cats. Pike, was he pushed out of it? Pitnet claims it.
Big mark, that from Pitnet.
If we are inside 30 seconds, and this might be enough. It has to go perfect for the Cats here. This needs to be an intercept mark for Wybird. Lemmy gets the fist in right in front of the Carlton bench. Are the Blues on the verge of their first win of the Smithies VFL season? They'll go to Coburg next week. Bye for the Cats next week. They'll host GWS in an AFL VFL curtain raiser at GMHBA in 2 weeks from now. Cats need to go. They won't. That's the siren. And it's the first win of the year for Carlton. And it was the young fella who grew up barracking for Carlton, drafted at pick 40 last year.